Asterisk, what really happened to Jungkook during his enlistment? And why did Taehyung suddenly open his voice now? Is BTS still intact after this? Click, read, and give your opinion in the comments. Asterisk, that sentence was spoken softly but sharply by Kim Taehyung in his personal livestream broadcast that just happened 23 minutes ago, and since then, the internet has literally exploded. A sentence that should have been light and relaxed in a story-sharing session turned into an emotional confession that exposed the dark side of Jungkook's conscription period that had been shrouded in mystery and silence. Asterisk, why is Taehyung only revealing this now? What really happened to Jungkook behind his smile and military salute? And why do Taehyung's tears seem like he can't hold back when he mentions Jungkook's name? Asterisk, the broadcast began in a light tone. Taehyung wears a gray hoodie and sits in his rehearsal room. He played slow jazz music while reading fan comments. It all feels normal, until Jungkook's name is called. Someone in the comments wrote, asterisk, we miss JK. How's it going, Tae? Asterisk, at first, Taehyung just laughed. But a few seconds later, the laughter disappeared. His face paled, the smile he wore faded, and he just stared at the screen like he was choosing between talking or staying silent. However, the sentence that ended up coming out surprised everyone. Asterisk, you think he's okay? Him. He hasn't even told me everything he's been through. Taehyung didn't explain right away, but the way he played with his fingers and held his breath showed there was a deep emotional burden. Then finally, in a quiet voice that almost sounded like confession, he said, asterisk, Jungkook didn't just lose weight during his enlistment. He almost lost himself. And it was that phrase that made all the army in the comments instantly flood the broadcast with crying emojis and question marks. Taehyung begins to tell Jungkook that, despite being known to be strong and steel-minded, he actually experienced his darkest period when he entered the 5th month of his military service. He began asterisk, not responding to messages, refusing video calls asterisk, and was even reportedly involved in minor conflicts with superiors due to miscommunication. We were wondering, why did he suddenly disappear from the group chat? Jungkook is not like that. But when I asked him directly, he just said, I need some breathing space. But now I know, it's not about space. It's about him trying to stay alive. Taehyung said with a trembling voice. One of the most astonishing statements in the broadcast was when Taehyung snapped at the agency asterisk, you know what hurts the most? We were not told anything by Bigot. According to Taehyung, even the members were not immediately informed when Jungkook experienced an incident at the military camp, an incident that was not explained in detail, but was said to have led Jungkook to be treated for several days in the military medical room without official notification to family or group colleagues. We only found out after he himself told the story. A few weeks later, Taehyung said, the most emotional part is when Taehyung reveals that Jungkook asterisk wrote a long letter to Army asterisk, which he plans to send via Weverse. But the letter was never delivered. I read that letter. It's not just a feeling of hopelessness, it's a feeling of hopelessness. He said, sometimes I want to be a normal person who can cry without having to be photographed. That sentence made Taehyung silent for a while. He then said softly, you know what it's like to be your sister, and did not know that he was fighting alone? Some observant fans noticed that recent photos of Jungkook during military training show asterisk, drastic weight loss asterisk, highlights of eyes that look empty, and a smile that only rises at the corners of the lips. Now, with Taehyung's confession, all the pieces of the puzzle begin to come together. Asterisk, are these signs of severe mental stress? Why is there no serious attention? Is this a form of negligence? Asterisk, Taehyung even said, I was thinking, if I didn't call her that night, maybe she would never pick up the phone again. The statement that really froze the broadcast was when Taehyung said asterisk, he said he was afraid to come back. Not because he's afraid of work, or music, or cameras, but because he's afraid he can no longer be the Jungkook that everyone loves. He said, what if they don't like me now? I'm not an innocent 20-year-old anymore, Tae. It was a sentence that was so jarring, showing that even the golden mean is not immune to identity crises and the pressure of expectations. Although he did not elaborate, Taehyung said there was one incident that really changed Jungkook's mentality. Asterisk, there was an incident with a senior, he said softly. Jungkook never told the whole story, but I heard from someone that he was almost locked up for defending a classmate who was scolded for no reason. Is it true that Jungkook was unfairly punished? And if so, why is there no documentation or media reports? These questions immediately flooded the comments and trending on Twitter in a matter of seconds. Now, the big question that arises is, ***, will Jungkook return as an idol? Or would you choose a different life? ***, Taehyung didn't answer that clearly. But as he closed the broadcast, he said, **, if you really love Jungkook, don't just wait for his comeback, but understand the pain he may bring. Since the broadcast ended, armies around the world have begun uploading videos of their emotional reactions, ***, sending open letters to Bigot, and even demanding ***, official clarification ***, regarding Jungkook's condition during his enlistment. Why are you guys silent? We deserve to know, wrote one fan on Weverse. Taehyung wasn't finished when he ended his broadcast that night. Although his face was tired, and the look in his eyes looked like he was storing too much weight that didn't belong to him, he sat back in the private studio and delivered a single sentence that instantly set fire to the commentary room. There is something you all should know, something that even our management is trying to hide. No warning. There are no censors. Taehyung throws it like throwing a fire into a gasoline warehouse. The next sentence shocked everyone and began to spread like a storm on social media. Jungkook had made a request to no longer continue the group's activities when he finished his enlistment. And that's not a rumor. That's a fact. In an instant, the world seemed to stop. What does that mean? Jungkook leaving BTS? Jungkook quit? These questions are no longer just wild speculation of netizens. This is a direct statement from the BTS members themselves, and not from just any member. It comes from the person who has always been considered the calmest, most loyal, most calm, Taehyung. Many would like to believe that Taehyung is just being emotional, that this is just an overflow of longing and fatigue. But not with her really serious face as she continued. She said she was tired of all this pressure, with faces that only cared about how she looked on camera, not whether she ate that day or not. The statement is like a knife that peels the reality of the glamorous Korean entertainment world, revealing deep wounds that have been hidden. Taehyung didn't stop there. He even mentioned that Jungkook once wrote a sentence that made him cry all night. "If I die in the army, at least the world will stop demanding me to be perfect." Taehyung's broadcast was then abruptly stopped. No warning, no ending. The screen just went black. Fans realized it was not because he finished speaking, but because someone either from the internal management or technical side turned off the broadcast. But, of course, everything is already scattered. Snippets of videos, voice recordings, screenshots, all have already been re-uploaded by hundreds of thousands of accounts around the world. And here we are now, in the midst of a storm not started by haters, not fueled by the media, but by fellow BTS members. A friend who chooses to tell the truth rather than continue to keep the wounds of others as a company secret. And the public, especially the army, is no longer silent. Protect Jungkook. Bigot explained this, and Taehyung Speak the Truth began to dominate global trending topics. Fans aren't just angry. They *** feel betrayed. They question everything that has been hidden from them. Are all smiles fake? Are songs about togetherness just label products, not feelings? Making matters worse is the appearance of a former longtime production staffer who admitted on an online forum that this is not the first time Jungkook wants to take a long break. He mentioned that in 2021, after a series of back and forth promotional schedules and internal conflicts that were never revealed to the public, Jungkook locked himself in the studio for 2 days without communication. But the incident was tightly closed by the management, even to some BTS members themselves. Now the public is questioning, what exactly is happening in the internal system of HYB? Why one member after another seemed emotionally exhausted, but the official narrative was always the same: they're fine. Then if they're okay, why did Taehyung have to cry in front of thousands of fans tonight? Why are there letters that are never sent? And why did Jungkook feel that dying might be better than living under pressure? ***, this situation turned into a hot ball not only for HYB, but also for the entire K-pop industry, which has been known to be cruel in dictating the lives of their idols. It's no longer about fan service. It's no longer about fandom war. It's about mental health, about integrity, about how the world demands too much from a human being just because he is famous. Meanwhile, other rumors began to appear. There have been whispers that Jungkook has actually been offered an exclusive contract for solo promotions outside of Korea, even outside of Asia. A major label in the US is rumored to have been eyeing him for a long time and waiting for the right time. If true, then Taehyung's admission could be the beginning of a major shift in BTS's history. Not because they broke up, but because they finally chose their respective paths after years of harboring wounds together. The big question now is, does Jungkook still want to be a part of BTS after his enlistment? Or are all these wounds already too deep to be healed with one new song or a sweet comeback? HYBE has so far not issued a statement. They just sent a short message to the media, no comment at this time. But behind the scenes, there is wild speculation that executives are panicking not just because their reputations are at stake, but because BTS's perfect narrative as a harmonious group is now beginning to crack from within. And the cracks don't come from the media or the haters, but from the honest voice of a friend. What will happen next? Will Jungkook show up to justify or refute all of this? Will Taehyung be asked to shut up? Or will the truth be revealed later? One thing is certain, the army around the world will not stand still. They want clarity, not slogans. They want reality, not an artificial narrative. And tonight, they're not just crying over Jungkook. They start *** questioning everything. *** while the atmosphere of the virtual world is burning with emotions, anger and grief mixed together, a new narrative appears that immediately adds coals to the fire. A former BTS vocal coach whose identity was disguised made a shocking confession via an anonymous forum that quickly went viral. It's been since 2020 that Jungkook has been showing signs of severe burnout. But every time he asked for a break, the answer was always the same: this contract knows no breaks. The statement was electrifying. And when combined with Taehyung's statement tonight, the shadow of a system that is too harsh begins to appear more and more obvious. It's not just about one exhausted idol. It's about how the entertainment industry, which was supposed to build dreams, is slowly destroying the people who live them. Then came another information that was no less disturbing. A security staff member of the military camp where Jungkook served was reported to have sent a message to the admin of a large fan site in Korea. The content is a story that Jungkook was once specially summoned to the commander's room after being caught crying alone in the weapons room. Not because of family loss, not because of physical injury, but because he felt like his life no longer belonged to him. He can't be a full-fledged soldier because he's still an idol. But he can't be a full-fledged idol either because now he's a soldier. It was at this point that the big question began to arise. Was Jungkook's entire life really his? Or was it just a portrait curated for the needs of the public? Taehyung subtly but sharply leads there too. He said that some important decisions in Jungkook's life, such as his hairstyle, outfit, and even who he can collaborate with, are determined not by him, but by the people up there.